Well, good afternoon, everyone, and a hearty welcome to the first edition of the Smart Built Environment Forum organized by the CM Today magazine. I am Megha Anthony, the editor of the magazine, and your host for the next 4 afternoons of the forum. Now, the Smart Built Environment Forum has been a labor of love, and it has truly been an enriching experience to getting to know each and every one of our expert speakers out here. Now, this last year has truly been a challenging one for all of us, but not all of us are going in blindfolded into 2021. And we hope that through this forum, that you as attendees will be able to be a little bit more better prepared as well. Now, I have always believed that through discussions and dialogues, we can achieve a whole lot more. So do use this platform to learn, network, and share your expertise. I would like to quickly give a mention and a big thank you to all our sponsors and supporters who have believed in us and in our vision here today. And also a special mention to our speakers and advisory board who have patiently answered all of my panic calls, the messages, and not to forget all my random questions. So a big thank you again. So without much ado, let's begin, as we have some very exciting sessions ahead of you and a very unique innovation at the Innovation Hub as well. So quick reminders, do use your Google Chrome and Safari for best results, and check out the menu bar to explore the meeting opportunities, the networking lounge, and of course, make use of that event feed to share your thoughts on the discussion, or even to drop your e-visiting card. After all, it's the new normal, right? And of course, if you want to tag us on your social media, use the hashtag SPEF 2020. So I would now like to pass the spotlight to our keynote speaker, Mr. Prabu Ramachandran, the founder and CEO of Facilio In. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Megha. Let me share my screen. Is it visible? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks again, Megha. I feel honored to be in front of you to kickstart this wonderful event. I would like to take this opportunity to thank CM Today team for putting together such a extensive 4-day event in spite of all the constraints we are all going through. I would like to start the event by seeding some thoughts on what are the big opportunities in front of us as an industry that we can pick up and execute to move the industry forward in these challenging situations. Last 8 to 9 months, we have seen tremendous changes in the way we work, in the way the industry has moved forward. And as we say, change breeds opportunities. It is very, very important for us to spot the opportunities, pick them, and execute them. So if you look at what are the changes, in spite of the negative ones, we also had a good level of positive changes for us as an industry. To start with, this has given us an opportunity to showcase the resilience of how we as an industry have come forward to pick on the challenges and being very, very critical part of reopening of the entire economy. That has put us into spotlight, much needed spotlight, where to an extent, a lot of the visuals we have been seeing about COVID coverage next to medical staff, a lot of coverages came where on how the property teams, operations teams have been helping to reopen the facilities. And next one is a lot of what we deliver that have been seen as nice to haves have become must have in operations today. Customers realize their importance, right from health, wellness, operational efficiency, risk management, compliance management, all of those that were traditionally seen as nice to have become like must haves. That is increasing the importance of property operations. And finally, industry is starting to see us as a strategic part of the business, strategic pillar of the business. And everywhere the theme is how can business become more agile. So we passed through a response phase, few months of response phase, and then there was a recovery phase. Now we are clearly into the thriving phase on how we can build forward from these opportunities that are in front of us, right from the spotlight what we have, importance of property operations, being seen as strategic partners. How do we pick up from here? How do you create opportunities, take on the challenges, and move forward? That is going to define how the industry is going to be moving forward for next few years. So where are the opportunities? One of the key opportunities is the data. So how do we leverage data to build the industry to next stage? So talks about data have been always been there for last few years. There have been a lot of initiatives that have been taken, but many of them were like incremental steps. Now is the right time where we make some bold steps. We build some transformative models with data as the core. So as it has been demonstrated in other domains like say e-commerce or taxi or food delivery, these industries have transformed themselves, built a whole set of new services with data, but they have to create the data by spending billions of dollars on cashbacks and discounts to create the data. But we have an advantage where there is so much of data about properties, data about operations, data about sustainability, customers, everything is already there. So it is very, very important on how we are going to really leverage in a multifold transformational way. Next big opportunity is going to be in how are we going to push digital transformation initiatives. Again, it has been there for last few years, but mostly in a very, very incremental way, where we have to fight for budget, fight for the right kind of attention. Now that we have the opportunity, we are in spotlight, customers have understood the importance, there is a external factor that is favoring, it is right time that we push these digital transformation initiative, very similar to what has happened in say our smartphones right after 2007. In the following 10 years, the evolution of that smartphone through the transformation of that across industry, we have seen that we have that level of opportunity in front of us where we can use data, we can push through transformational changes now to build a entirely new industrial model for us to, in the next say 5 to 6 years, to emerge as a very strong and high value industry. So what it requires is leadership. We need both individual leaders and organizations who take the leadership to pick up these opportunities and execute them with vigor, rather than our traditional mode of picking up, doing it like smaller incremental projects. So what can be the playbook for it? I would start with the customer satisfaction as the one of the key areas where for the entire industry, there is a huge set of opportunities. Again, I would like to touch upon industries like food delivery or taxi or e-commerce. In last 10 years, the kind of customer touch points these industries have built, customer trust, the amount of time customers spends interacting with these industry is humongous, and that is what is creating value for them. And real estate being a very, very high touch, high value industry, but our customer touch points are being like really broken. That is one area where we have to focus a lot on how can we get closer to customers, become part of the customer's business, rather than just being a back-end team that comes to forefront only in case of any breakages or problem. Can we understand customers, create value for customers, use the data, build intelligence so that we become part of the customer business? So that is one big transformation opportunities that will lead to next set as one where how can we roll out newer services, create newer value from what we are doing existing. So if we have to move forward as an industry as a high value, highly profitable industry, once we get closer to customers, then there is opportunities to roll out new services, new value, and become integral part of the customer business. And finally, it leads to operational excellence, which is well known. Again, there have been incremental initiatives ongoing, but time is ripe for us because there is an external factor that is favoring us now to push through major operational excellence projects, so that one, we as an industry becomes operationally efficient, and we also bring in operational efficiency for our customers who are business owners, real estate owners. How can we go and impact their profit levels, impact their customer satisfaction? So this is like a broad playbook where customer satisfaction is one major untapped area that will lead us to how can we roll out new services, high value services to customers, and then eventually we become operationally efficient. So I would like to end this keynote with a thought process on how can we approach the whole thing. We have been doing this, but how can we do differently is, I would say one model is to look at properties themselves as not just physical immovable assets. They're all like dynamic businesses. There are dynamic businesses running inside properties, be it homes, be it office, be it a venue, event venue. There are people who want to realize their dream sitting in these properties. People want to spend good time sitting in these properties. So we have to change our perception towards how can we create impact there rather than just going and servicing the properties as physical assets. That fundamental approach will help us to think out of the box and bring in newer services, get closer to customers, and build a massive transformation very similar to what has happened in other markets and what has happened with the smartphone themselves. We can be the property operations businesses, and teams can be the gateway for a lot of things that is going to happen in other businesses. So with that, I would like to thank everyone again and end this keynote. Let us champion the change together. All of this requires all of us helping each other. It's a new territory for us, but the opportunity is big. And this is a time where we showcase both our individual leadership and the organizational leadership to move forward the industry. Thank you.